And we do, I think we have some Belgians. The gentleman in the black uniform, in fact I think is a Belgian soldier, and that was the uniform in which they went to war in the First World War, was those black uniforms. So the Whippet tank on the far side was called a Whippet because it had a top speed of 10 miles an hour. So it was twice as fast as the first tanks, the Mark 1s and Mark 4s. There are only 6 in the world. I've had the pleasure of seeing 3 of them. So these gentlemen have actually built this replica. It's taken them a couple of years to build. I can tell you more about that later. But at least you get the opportunity to see what these vehicles look like when they're actually travelling. Here the German troopers are throwing their stick grenades at the Allies. Allies are responding with a machine gun.
I don't think we've got tigers here. We probably won't, but it says only about 5 or 6.
Some of the more adventurous German troops are all right. The Allies have decided that discretion is the better part of valour, so they're running back to the safety of the armoured vehicle that's arrived into the arena. So the German troops will be tucking into the rations that the squaddies have left behind.
Oh, he's sorry.
So the Whippet is advancing towards the German lines. The infantrymen are taking cover behind the Whippet. I can see from here that one of the soldiers is definitely a French army because he's got a blue tunic on, as opposed to the khaki of the British Army. The only defence the Germans had against the tanks, the Allied tanks, the British tanks, was the German artillery, and they were very, very successful and did knock out a lot of British tanks. But without any artillery, the Germans are out taking casualties. The tanks themselves are pretty invulnerable to any kind of light machine gun, even a heavy machine gun, or missiles or whatever, rockets or hand grenades. They stood a chance. So this scenario would in fact be Amiens 1918.
The best first aid I've ever seen.
So I'd imagine that the Whippet tank's doing about 2 or 3 miles per hour in the arena at the moment. Now it's stopped. But because it was the fastest tank in the world in 1918, hence the name the Whippet. This particular vehicle is displayed as the musical box, and the musical box gained worldwide fame after the war because behind the German lines created absolute havoc. For a World War I tank to actually get behind the German lines, they were back behind the German lines for an hour, maybe the very hour at the very most, before they returned back to the British lines, or they were knocked out. So the whistle is blown now. The Commonwealth troops and the French troops have been ordered to go forward. The German troops are hiding behind what little protection they can get from the shield of the artillery piece.
French in the lead. Nice.
Yeah, I think that Frenchman ought to chill out. Just because the Germans invaded your country, raped all the women, there's no need to do that to the lad. And now the officer is calling all the men to attention. That's index, that's the end of the exercise. If you'd like to put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for our